All right, 3, 2, 1, let's get it. Today, let's talk about resistance. And I laugh saying this because, previous episode 962, I said, hey, man, we're coming out. The next episode, actually 961, I said at 962, we're going to come out with resistance. And then 962, I said, it didn't come out with resistance, but I promise you the next one's going to be about resistance. And, bro, I hesitate on bringing this one out, or delayed in bringing this one out, I should say, is because I did two other ones before this one. It's just as I'm saying this, I realize I was resisting coming out with an episode on resistance. It wasn't that I didn't feel the episode. It's just I have an insatiable appetite every day to create something new. So I'm not a fan of going back in previous episodes and reclipping them. I'm not a fan of doing that. And I have, probably 50, if I had to just shoot from the hip, probably 50 that I have written for podcast episodes and then just never released, because if I don't record them in the same day, and because I like to write every day something new, I move on down the road, and I'm always like, well, I'm going to do it on my day off, or I'm going to record that one. I'm going to record that one on this weekend. And I never do. It's like literally like probably 90% of the time, 7 days a week, I'm writing something. The days I don't write something, I'm just like agitated. So I really, really, really try to focus on that. Sometimes my writing, if I'm in a jam, and this may work for you, is like I'll have the idea and I actually audibly write, meaning that I will record my thoughts in my voice memo app, and then I copy the transcript and then run it through chat, and then I refine it from there. So it kind of condenses what and clarifies and arranges the flow and stuff like that. So saying all that to say, I've been resisting resistance. So what a great topic today. And I think it's super important, because resistance, man, is like, it's super sneaky. It really is. It's very subtle. And resistance, it doesn't come crashing through the door. It like seeps in quietly, almost like a monoxide gas. It has 1,000 faces. It shows up disguised as comfort. It sounds logical. It whispers like reason. And it disguises itself as like harmless delay by telling you, look, bro, you've worked hard. Just take it easy. You've earned a break. We could double up tomorrow. We could start next month. We could start at the first of the year. That's resistance. And as harmless as it seems, it is far from harmless. It's destructive. But you just don't see it in blunt force. It's delayed. It comes because it builds layer by layer until one day everything feels slow, heavy. You're just out of sync. You're so far off track, and like literally it's like you just sober up one day. You snap out of it, like Cher in Moonstruck slapping, who was that, Nicolas Cage? Snap out of it. And that's what happens. Then all of a sudden we look up, all of the suddens, we look up and we're like, oh my God, what happened? Nothing just happened. You've been losing, though not knowingly, you've been losing to resistance in small, quiet ways. One negotiation at a time. That's how resistance wins. Not all at once, but little by little, like microscopic little by little. It's like 1,000 little pinholes. So that comfort, a little bitty pinhole, a little seep. That double up, that delay, that procrastination, that get around to it. Pin. And it's these little bitty pinholes. Think of like a sewing machine. And what's happening is, man, it's just, it's blowing in there. Those little tiny things. One dot, no big deal. 1,000 of them, you bleed out. That's what resistance is. in his book, Resisting Happiness. Great book, man. I like to go back to that book from time to time because it's just a way of recentering, recalibrating. Matthew Kelly writes this. He said, the hardest win, this is about resistance. I love this. This is actually the inspiration for today's episode. He said, the hardest war to win is the one you don't even realize you're fighting. And the hardest enemy to defeat is the one you don't even know exists. That's resistance. It is. And let me tell you something. You're never going to live a day in your life resistance-free. Resistance is always going to be there. It's there when you wake up. It's there when you sit down to write. It's there when you work out. It's there when you have to have a hard conversation. It's there on your job. It's there in your creativity. It's there in your faith. It's in your finances. It's everywhere. And what's crazy is resistance, it's so elusive. It doesn't have to shove you backwards. It stalls you out just long enough for your momentum to fade. That's the danger of resistance. It doesn't need to defeat you. Resistance only needs to delay you. That's how she wins. But here's the good news. Even when you can't eliminate resistance, you can use it to your advantage. It's like the gym. Resistance, when you lift, you add weight. That's resistance. That builds strength. In life, that resistance builds commitment, resolve, grit, and will. Shit, bro, if resistance is always going to be there, you might as well make it work for you. See, when you face resistance, it feels heavy. It pushes you down. When you work with resistance, it makes you stronger. Unmanaged resistance will make you feel less than. Resistance mastered will make you unstoppable. When it comes to resistance, some days, man, you got to overcome it. And other days, you got to leverage it. Like, you got to overcome it some days when it's trying to push you down. And other days, bro, you got to leverage it where you manage it and you flex it. That's what creates flight. The first form of resistance hits me just like it does you every morning when the alarm clock goes off. That warm and cozy bed, that's the first battle of the day. So I jump up. I do. And I hit the snooze, but let me tell you what the snooze is. The snooze lasts for 9 minutes. I don't stay down for 9 minutes. It means I have 9 minutes to get myself together, brush my teeth, take my vitamins. Sound like Hulk Hogan here. Take my vitamins. And get up front. That's that 9 minutes. I don't get up because I feel like it. I get up because I know what's waiting for me if I don't. Resistance. And if I don't get up, I take the L right off the bat. First 2 minutes or so is terrible. After that, it's like, all right, let's go. So I fight resistance every day. I fight it just like you do. I just put a process in that helps me stay not only aligned, but also actionable in growth. I wake up at a set time. After I go walk the dogs, I read for 15 minutes from a random book. I write about what I just read or what hits my soul. I work out. Sometimes it's resistance training. Sometimes it's cardio. Sometimes it's resistance bands in the driveway. Sometimes it's stretching. Bust a sweat. And I share something of value. It's like what this is right here. And then I design my day. What I'm going to eat, know I'm going to eat. And what I'm going to wear. And where I'm going, man. I just try to design that. Try to just outline it. So that way, resistance is there the whole time. Every step of the way, resistance is there. But you learn to leverage it. You do. With consistency, man, you do. You feel it, but you don't fall to it. You just like, come on, bro. Like, I feel you. I see you. Let's go. And at first, man, resistance, I mean, think about it. When you're starting anything new, that's the heaviest shit in the world, isn't it? It feels rigid. It feels like it's not going to work. It feels like I can't even hold it all. That's just resistance talking. But once you turn it into a process like what I was saying, it becomes a rhythm. You have to act your way into a feeling. because feelings are unreliable. Resistance masks feelings. It's always going to be there. The feeling to show up is not always going to be there. It's not. So you have to act your way into a feeling instead of feel your way into an action. If you're waiting for feelings to show up, good luck on that one. You're going to be so inconsistent. You're going to have no momentum. You're going to be just up, down, up, down, up, down. No. That's what resistance does, man. I move before I'm ready. And then the feelings just have to show up, man. I want to end with this. Resistance never leaves, but neither will I. You don't conquer it once. You just outwork it every day. You do. You're not going to destroy it. You just got to build through it. And so when you see resistance, see how resistance, you look at it differently now? Like, you know, you look at it through a different lens. It's a different perspective. It's a crazy thing about resistance. Resistance is the reason why most people stop. But it's also the reason why a few people soar. It's because they understand what resistance is. Some days you got to overcome it, and other days you got to leverage it. But always outwork it, because resistance is never going away. So before I leave you, let me just ask you a few questions to think about in this podcast. Where is resistance showing up most in your life right now? Like it's usually behind procrastination, right? These theme days, Monday, first of the week, first of the month, first of the year. They always start with the first. You're first. If you're going to put yourself first, today needs to be that day. Just bust a move, man. And you'll feel better on the backside of it. You don't feel good going into it, but you'll feel better once you check the box. Second question I want to ask you, what's one area that you can overcome resistance by just busting a move? Like literally, bro, set your timer for 5 minutes. And when I say resistance, you know, I'm talking about your faith, your family, your fitness, your finances, your fulfillment, both professionally and creatively, but also, man, just in everyday things, like 5 minutes of reading a book, 5 minutes of listening to a podcast, 5 minutes of starting to fold the clothes. I got a sack of clothes down here on the floor. I got to set your timer for 5 or 10 minutes. When it's done, when the timer goes off, come back to it. You probably won't, because you'll have overcome resistance. And now that thing's going in your way, you're like, well, shit, I only got 4 pair of underwear to fold, and I got to match these socks up, and I'm good to go. It's these small things, man. But this is how you train yourself to overcome and leverage resistance. And then lastly, speaking of, how can you leverage resistance? Like, use the weight of it. I think they do that in martial arts, right? They don't try to overcome a stronger competitor. They use his weight against them. They use his power against them. I don't know anything about it, but that's what I've read about. So same thing with resistance, man. So how can you use it to, you know, you feel the weight of it, but you leverage it in such a way that you use it to your advantage? It'll make you more disciplined. It's going to make you more confident. This is how you create separation. This is how you get freedom. It's seeing resistance for what it is and then leveraging it to your advantage. Resistance can be both your enemy and your ally, just depending on what you do with it. Being it's always going to be there, and now that you hear this, you realize, you know, we try to get to the land of milk and honey where we're like, oh, you know, if only I can get to this stage in my life. And man, you think resistance is just going to be like leave you 5 years ago? I've been resistance free for 5 years. That'll never happen in your life. Ever, ever, ever. So get that shit out of your head. Get that shit out of your vocabulary. It's never going to happen. Okay? Resistance will be there forever. So if it's always going to be there, see it for what it is and use it to your advantage. All right? Let's get out of here. Be sure and share this episode with one person who needs to hear it, who needs to hear about resistance. All right? Let's go get that resistance in. As always, keep it simple, keep it moving, never settle, stay tough. Peace.